Hello there, and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. And I am so grateful to be here. Things are just moving right along, and we're all going through some major stuff right now, and emotions, that get triggered so much, and we are getting so empowered by what we can learn and what we can do and where we can go. So I'm Natasha Venter. I am a psychic medium. I am a personal awareness life coach. I love to help people go through their emotions with more grace and ease and more willingness to see how they can do better inside themselves. Because of the fact that right now, it's just like I don't want to say let's hold space and let's hold a moment of silence. Let's do this, let's do that. Because I'm frankly kind of all I can say is that I want to surround love around everybody that is going through some form of loss right now, some form of this or some form of that, because of the fact that going through these moments where we're going through life and doing life and managing life, and oh my gosh, and then we have things that pop up like yesterday, the shooting. I didn't want to talk about that. Yet at the same time, it triggered me to talk about this, the deeper knowing of our emotions. And I just was having a conversation with someone. It was a blessing because of the fact that, you know, we're kind of at wit's end, and we're honest with each other, and being able to untie a knot that we probably all feel in some way. And there's no right or wrong in how we feel about the situation that happened yesterday. All we know that it's about innocence being lost for some. It's innocent being lost for someone who brought their family to school. And I know for me, working in the elementary school system that I do, and I try to be very respectful about how I talk about it, because of the fact that we get buzzed into our school, or we have a key fob to go in. We cannot just walk in our doors. We were able to not too long ago, and we had times where we had to have lock-ins because of an irate parent. So, and I'm not going to spend all day today talking about this, but I want you to know that as we're going forward in life, that a lot of the things that we're dealing with in our moment to moment workings of life, and going forward in our world and negotiating our world, that a lot of things are stemming from our childhood. And like I was saying, hi on Instagram and hi on Facebook or Twitter. And if you're on Twitter, please know I do not get your comments. So if you're wanting to watch on Twitter, can you go please my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and make comments there, because I do get comments on this platform here. Everything but Twitter. So please like and share if you want to later. But I wanted to talk about emotions that are stemming from somewhere. And I used the example today with my friend about how, we as people don't acknowledge why we are negotiating what we're doing. Well, if you think about it, back when we were in younger years, I'm going to say that, if we were one that threw a book at somebody, at another student or another friend or something like that, threw a book, and the other kid got hit, right? And the adult would say, "Don't throw books, you're in timeout." Well, does that cure anything? Does that negotiate anything? So what we could do now, instead of putting the kid who threw the book in timeout, we could gather the one that got hit by the book, come over to the kid who threw the book. "Did you like getting hit by that book?" And the kid going, "No, I didn't like getting hit by that book." "Did it hurt getting hit by that book?" And you look at the other student, and Yes, it hurt getting hit by the book. So can you tell him, I didn't like getting hit by that book? Well, do you think that it was good that you hit him by the with the book? I don't know. Well, why did you throw the book? I wanted to get his attention. Well, you wanted to get his attention. Well, is there another way to get an attention? So we as adults don't always use problem solving with our young ones. And I'm going to even say that this even works with adult to an adult. Not to say we're talking down to another adult. I'm not saying that at all. But, like for me, having a conversation with my husband, sometimes I say, oh, shoot, I said something that bothered you, didn't it? And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That was not my intention. So even acknowledging that there's a cause and effect and how we can maneuver that helps us to deal with a lot of our emotions because of the fact that we've been taught to stuff our emotions a lot of times, right? Well, and if you use the example of like the pit bull, it's like a pit bull. If it's loved and it's negotiated with and they're some of the best dogs, right? But if you get a pit bull that has been abused and hit and not shown love, well, it's going to be reactive. It's going to be right, and you can't trust it. Well, think about us as pit bulls. If we're loved and great and brought forth and negotiated with, how do we interact with those around us, right? Well, a lot of us come from families that didn't know better to do better. Yet at the same time, right now, no matter where you're at, the age you are, we can always start acknowledging that emotionally hurt. Ow, that really hurt. Just like me hearing the news of the school shooting, it really, and I honor every piece of that story, every piece of the story. The policemen that had to go in, the children that were lost, the children who had to witness the loss, the faculty, the parents, the innocence that's lost, the parents of the shooter, everything. It's a big umbrella that has so much underneath it, and it's amazing in a not a good way of the ripple effect. And I know even me hearing that, it got me stirred up because of the fact that, oh, ow, ow, ow. We're going through life and managing life. And I have these emotions, right? And then I walk out in of my house and getting ready to go to get in my car and squish. I squished something on the ground. It was a slug actually, and it kind of gross, but you know, and it was almost like the straw that hit that broke the camel's back because of the fact that we have these emotions that are building up, and then something simple as stepping on a bug or can break us into tears. We're all in the midst of doing and going through life, and yet we don't stop a lot of times and negotiate ourselves because of the fact that going through our day-to-day moments, we don't stop and spend a little time checking in with ourselves. How are you? How are you? Oh, I'm a little tired. Oh, okay. You're a little tired. How can I help you? Figuring out ourselves. And that's where a lot of people fall back to meditation, right? Because it's a time to check in with yourself. Well, not everybody is a meditator. I'm not a meditator, but yet I do go quiet. I do go quiet. Now, I had an intention of, like, I have this chair behind me, right? And I was going to sit in that chair and have a quiet moment, right? Well, trying to get myself in here doesn't always work. But I know for sure when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, I check in with myself. And checking in with myself helps me negotiate some of these emotions that are going through me. And that's the theme of today's show is I wanted to talk about emotions and how do we negotiate that. And that's part of me being a personal awareness life coach is a hello on Instagram that as we're going through life and managing our life, we're not always aware of where we're at. And I can sure tell you that, people call our egos bad. Well, no, our egos aren't bad. Now, if they don't sit down and be part of the team, yes, they can be out of balance. That's that pit bull part of us that doesn't want to sit down and listen, right? So negotiating these stories of ourselves and being who we are and loving ourselves through the moments that even if we listened to the news yesterday and heard that awful story, and then we had to still cook dinner for family. We still had to get up and go to work because we have our lives. And we have Memorial Weekend this weekend in this country, right? And that's about, honoring our loved ones that have fought for us and, fire department and police officers and military and oh man, talk about emotions. Wow. Wow. Like I watched Bondi vet lifeguard, you know, and they're down in Australia and they're on Bondi Beach and they have brought back people and or they're saving kids like this there's one lifeguard that he saves kids and yet he lost a child himself right after childbirth and so he when he picks up a child he goes through that grief every time he picks up a child and that's the thing is that we don't realize sometimes that we get these roll around moments and we forget to say, wow, that was a difficult moment, wasn't it? That was a difficult moment. And take a moment to breathe and take a moment to love ourselves and take a moment to say, ouch, ouch. Like I deal with students who fall down all the time on the playground and I do honor that moment. I may not do it the best. I don't pick them up right away and rush them to the nurse's office, but I sit with them and say, ow, that hurt, didn't it? Oh, those sting. I call those stingers. They sting for a while and they ouch for a while and then they get better. Can I hug you or my hands are really cold. Do you want me to touch? Sometimes when we hit concrete with our hands, sometimes something nice and cold helps. So I put my hands on their hands and they start feeling a little bit better, right? And then I stay after they're done crying, right? Because kids are so easily to cry sometimes, which is good because they're allowing that emotion to work through. Do you want to call the nurse? Nurse? No, 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 no. Okay, what do you want to do? I want to go play. Okay, go play. Right? But honoring that moment where we're at. But a lot of us tell our kids or I tell ourselves, just get up, get moving. Don't worry about it. Don't feel it. Right? And that builds up and we get into these moments and we just went through a life altering experience with COVID. And yet seems like it was 30 years ago already in some ways, right? And going through those moments of what we felt when we first had to get closed down and things were like we were going out of our minds with I'm so bored, what can I do, I need to go to work, and then we go to work going I don't want to go to work, I want to go back to being bored again. We're there, why not be there, right? Sorry, there's a spirit I think that just went through my room so caught my eyes. you know, and that's one thing that I do, being a medium and intuitive personal, and I'm very intuitive, and so I see things out of the corner of my eyes. So sorry about that. You know, that going through life and managing our life, where can we go to honor those moments in ourselves? And if we honor those moments in ourselves, it gives them a voice. So then later they don't implode. They don't explode. They don't explode on the ones we love. They don't explode on our jobs. They don't explode as much on our friendships, right? So, being the person that you are, being who you want to be, we have to honor those emotions. And I know there's a lot of us that are going through the grief process right now. And even if it's for an animal, right? That grief process for our animals, sometimes those animals mean more to us than the humans in our lives, right? Because we're vulnerable with them. We get to be in peace with them. They sit with us in our most vulnerable moments, and we speak to them. And then when they're gone, who do we speak to, right? Can't trust a friend. Who do I trust? So being a part of ourselves, honor that grief moment. Grief is about anger, emotion, sadness, happiness, ups and downs, roller coaster rides, unpredictable moments of crying to unpredictable moments of laughter. You know, it is what it is. And yet, are we able to really negotiate that moment of love for ourselves? And I'm going to tell you a secret. Love can heal. Love can heal. It's not always perfect, nor is it ever going to be the key that creates balance and all. But I know for me right now, I'm sending a whole lot of love down to Texas. A whole lot of love. And then I'm sending love around our world, because I can tell you that hearing the news about Texas re-triggered people up in England and California and Washington State here, and all these different schools situations re-triggered them, because now they feel less secure, because now they're going through their emotions. And that's what we forget about, that there's a ripple effect that happens. We forget that, let's say we're going into a moment of, being strong and strength. And all of a sudden, there's a voice in the other room. And oh my gosh, that sounds like the uncle that abused me. What am I going to do? Oh crap, what am I going to do? Right? Because even if it wasn't that uncle, it sounded like them. So those moments where we go forward and maneuvering ourselves, playing the game of ourselves, can really lead to cracking open those emotions. I hope and pray that everyone that is watching can honor that moment. And if you need to shed a tear for somebody, shed a tear. Because I can tell you, shedding the tear is kind of like letting the steam, it's kind of like, for those that work with cars, right? You just don't take the radiator cap off a hot car, right? Heck no, because then that's an explosion of very dangerous water and antifreeze and all that kind of stuff, right? But what you can do is you can you pop just that little bit, right? And let the steam kind of come out, right? But that's a metaphor for our emotions. Letting that steam, letting things come out as we go, can help those moments. Now, if you are looking for some more help through going through emotions and negotiating our lives and being, hello on Instagram again, and being in the world that we're living in, call me up for a private session because I would be grateful to help you through that because I know a lot of us are working through things that our childhood needs us to work through. Because I can tell you that Pluto in retrograde, which is going to be out of retrograde soon, and Mercury in retrograde is going to be out of retrograde soon, that those two are working on our communication with ourselves. And Pluto is about that rebirthing process, re-knowing of ourselves. It's an it's an outer planet, it's a smaller planet. So that's working with the outer world of ours. So how is our world around us helping us to renew ourselves, right? And so we're getting triggered by a lot of different scenarios. I had something happen to me yesterday that triggered my I would call it almost a sabotage. It's like the universe, not the universe, but the universe teaching me how to negotiate through my being sabotaged. Because every time I start shining my light, cancel, clear, delete that, I'm finding and witnessing that when I observed the times when I started shining my light, something would come up and snub me down. Something would come up and snub me down. And it's time for me to shine my light, right? So I have to practice those triggers so I can recognize I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not listening to that snubbing of the light. So today, because something happened yesterday, I decided to wear my angel wings with a heart. And it's my way of saying F you to reality that I am walking through this world, no matter what somebody is telling me, with angel love so that I can heal the process. Because of the fact that when I get triggered, I need to look at why. Why is this being with me? So for me, yesterday, starting out my day with my wonderful husband decided to or bought me a package of English muffins because that's what I have in the morning to eat because I don't have time for my oatmeal or whatever else I want to eat. Quite the morning person that I want to be. I'm getting better, but I'm not quite there in time to cook breakfast or want to eat breakfast for one. And so he got a package well, I opened up the package and they were moldy. Well, I could have said, well, that ruined my day, right? No, what I did was, okay, what can I eat now? Because I have to get to work. So I opened up a can of tuna fish and had tuna fish for breakfast, right? Because I needed protein. I needed something. And I eat a lot of peanut butter with my English muffins. So that helps me get a little bit of protein, not as much as tuna fish, but it helps me out. So my body was a little bit differently negotiated with, right? Well, then I got to work and I ended up getting talked to about a situation that I did. And I wasn't wrong and I wasn't right. I shouldn't have done what I did, but yet I wasn't bad at doing what I'm doing. I actually did my job while I was doing it. So it wasn't a wrong and it wasn't a right, right? So, kind of bookends, but I can tell you that there's other things that happen in the day. So, what do we do with our day to day life that we get triggered by something? Do we carry it with us? I can tell you that being called in to my supervisor really triggered me, and it kept because our brain loves to think of those negative things so easily, right? It likes to hold on to those negative things so easily. But I can tell you that I also, during that day, had a couple students come up and say, Mrs. Venter, and they give me a hug, right? Or kindergartners that they find, I had two or three kindergartners, well, one today and two yesterday, that remembered how to write an E. They learned how to write an E because they were struggling. They were like, and I said, okay, here we go. Shelf up and around, shelf up and around, shelf up and around, shelf up and around. And we did it. We made it fun. We did it fun. And then I had somebody else say that, Miss Venter, you're my people. You're my, you help me turn my day around. So moldy English muffin ruined my day. Focus on being told something that I did kind of wrong. Or focus on the light. And I can tell you that having the thunderstorm that I had, and if you look back on my videos, I did a video of a thunderstorm with a rainbow. And it was interesting how that rainbow through this thunderstorm stayed for over a half an hour. The longest rainbow I've ever seen. And knowing that there's always going to be struggles with thunder and rumbles and disheartenedness, yet find the things that create balance and love. Create balance and love, because when we have those things, they help us negotiate our day. So whatever you can do, bad days, good days, grumpy days, whatever you can do, try to find something that grabs on to you, that helps you to come forward. Yet at the same time, it's okay if you're angry for a few minutes. I had another situation with another wonderful person, and they got triggered, and I stood between them and the thing that triggered them. Luckily, they weren't taller than me at this time. And I said to them, it's okay to be angry. I am so angry. It's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to retaliate. I'm so angry and I want to. And I said, but it's okay to be angry, but we're not going to retaliate. Honor those emotions. And I can tell you, this one being said to me later, after going through the anger and me repeating that, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to retaliate. That they came forward and said, you know what? That's what they do. They trigger me into retaliating, and then I get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble. And I said, yes, you didn't get in trouble. And it was okay to be angry, wasn't it? Yes. But it wasn't okay to retaliate. And they said that. It's okay to do these things, but how are we responsible to be around others? And that's the trick. So, with that, I hope that this conversation is helping people, because, we're all going through this grief moment, and it doesn't matter if you're from Texas or not, or where you're at, but I can tell you we're all in this moment of struggle with understanding, misunderstanding. You know, maybe if we heard that news and we came home and argued with our loved one when we got home, or grumbled at our kids instead of hugging them, we're getting into these moments where things are applying. It's hard to negotiate. Many of us don't know better to do better, but we can practice doing better, right? By honoring where we're frustrated or angry. And there's sometimes where I go up and I tell somebody, you look like you're angry. I am angry. I'm angry at them. Well, let's go talk to them. Let's go talk to them. Because otherwise this anger is bouncing around all over here instead of going to that situation that needs to be talked to. And then come to find out it was a misunderstanding. And so instead of this person getting angry all day because of a situation and negotiating life and everything like that, and blowing up uh, in another situation because they're angry, that they came and found out that it was a misunderstanding, and they got to a different level. Not to say that it was fixed necessarily, but it got better. It got better. And getting better helps the negotiation of ourselves. So talk about it. If you can't talk to somebody, talk to a pillow. Grab a stuffed animal. Grab something that can help you negotiate your emotions. Even if you're an adult, talk to your dog or cat. Talk to someone. Talk to someone. Because of the fact that if we can talk to someone, that can help. No matter where you're at, being human is the part of gift of being here. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here, is to figure out our emotions and figure out these life lessons so that we can figure out the stretch and pull of life, right? The stretch and pull of life. And I don't know where exactly we got out of balance, but I can tell you, talking about this scenario about guns and all that kind of stuff, when did we not have guns? Because before we had guns, we had sticks and and other types of war type clubs, swords. You know, before swords, it was clubs, and before clubs, it was sticks. We've always had something, right, to deem somebody else less than ourselves. So the only way we're going to fix this is by knowing that we're not less than our own self, and nobody else is less than somebody else. But it's going to take practice, and it's going to take knowing, and it's going to take love. And as much as I want to hold a moment of silence for those in down in Texas, I would have to hold an hour of silence for all the drama that is going on around this world. And I'm going to do the most simplest thing that I can do, is sending love. I send love to everyone and every being who is going through a struggle right now. I send love to all around this world to be their greater selves. I'm sending love. I'm sending you love so that you know that you're just as important as somebody else. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love so that you know that in the next moment, you may make a difference in somebody else's life and it's worth living. And I'm sending love to every parent who's had to lose a child lately. And in the past, it doesn't matter if it was 100 years ago, it still hurts. I send love around this world and the worlds around us so that they all know that they are part of this bigger picture. And as I send this love, know that this love is not one of man to woman or woman to man or any other being. It's soul to soul, love to love. And I ask you to send that love on to someone else who's needing it, because I hope this fills up your bucket just a little bit. So as we go forward in negotiating our life, know that love is around you as it wraps a blanket around you. So please receive that love. Please receive that divine love so that you know that you are just as important as somebody else. And know that no matter who has lost, that your loved one is smiling with you, loving you even more than they did in this human form. Because that as we're going forward in life, our loved ones are around us. You know, after holding that love, it's kind of interesting. Things kind of just came to a neutrality. And you're so welcome, Veronica. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate you so much. So, with this, I think it's time. It's almost 20 minutes to the hour, and this is about the time I love to pull cards. I pull oracle cards for those around. So if you're watching on Instagram, you can have an oracle card pulled for you too. All I'm asking you to do is label the one that you would like and then putting an intention around it. So if you would like a oracle card pulled on Facebook or YouTube, and Twitter, remember, if you're on Twitter, please go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and I can read your comments there. Okay, so where do you want? You know, these unicorn cards want to come out again. Unicorn, they want to come out. I think I'm going to do, they are calling me, the Enchanted Map. The Enchanted Map. And these are cards that give point blank messages. And then I am going to do the Path of the Soul. Want to come out. So if you'd like a card pulled, please mention which one you want. The Path of the Soul, Unicorn, or the all you have to say is the map. And it doesn't matter if you're right around me or if you are or not, because of the fact that it's all about intention. All about intention. And as we go through in life, and that's the thing about spirit and energy. It's kind of like cell phones. You know, we get cell phones where, you know, somebody can text you in another country and you still get it in the country you're in, right? Well, that's how the energy works with spirit and love. So even though I was sitting in my room here in Washington State in the US, that as I was sitting here with love, giving love, love was reaching around the world, because it's kind of like technology, cell phones and all those kinds of things that we get heard. We get heard. So again, if you want a card, the map, the Path of the Soul, or magical unicorns. So right now I am going to, since nobody's speaking up, I am going to do, the map, please. Thank you, Veronica. Yes, I will do the map for you. The map for you. Yes, I haven't done the map in a while. It's Claudette Baron Reed is the person who does the map, and these are interesting cards. They are very interesting cards. They wanted to be turned around. Oh, Tara. Hi, Tara. How you doing? Long time no see. Thank you for showing up. Unicorn. I'll give you unicorn in just a minute. Okay, so Veronica, putting in your intention. Please put in your intention. And what would you like? An answer. You can put in a question out there. You can also put in just the moment of, even if you want cards, just speak. Hey girl. Yes, I've been thinking about you so much, Tara, that we had such a close moment, and then driving over the mountains together, and then all of a sudden we don't talk anymore, and I'm like going, oh, I feel kind of like a rug was ripped out from underneath me in a way. So, okay, so putting an intention in, Veronica. Veronica's intention. And on Instagram, I can do this too for you. So, okay. Oh, this one wanted to go. Okay, so number 20, flying. Flying for Veronica. Flying for Veronica. Okay, so 20. Flying. You have the power to see things from a higher perspective. So I think this was upside down. Yes, it was upside down. So I'm going to read the upright because that could help you, and I'm going to read the other alternative. Okay. If you were a bird flying high right now, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective comes available. Today, you have an invisible wings that allows you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that you are waiting is over, that all your hard work is paid off, and things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach the stars and find one of your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. Angels are waiting for you. Stay here on this planet, though, girl. You got a lot more work to do. Soar your wings, right? Hi, Carolyn. So I'm pulling cards. So Path of Soul. So if you want cards, and thank you for coming on Instagram. So if you're wanting an oracle card, it's about putting intentions out there. So I have the Path of the Soul. I have Magical Unicorns. And I also have the Map series. And that's what I'm reading on now. Okay. So I'm going to read it as reversed upside down. So this is the card. This is the card. I have a lot of reflection from the wonderful sun is out today in Washington State. So it's winged, and then you see all the kind of the rainbowish colors beyond it. Okay, so I'm going to do reversed. When you see this flying card reversed, it is a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded. And for now, you must avoid overreaching. There is still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. What you seek will not be out of reach forever. Remember, the story is of Lycoris in Greek mythology. And I did not say his name right, and I apologize. Whose wax-made wings and overconfidence brought him too close to the sun. He perished because he didn't recognize his limitations. Humanity is a great power, and now you must exercise it. Doing too much, too fast, too soon only serves to prevent a beautiful flight later on. I think that's a great card for you, Veronica, because it is a balance between flying and staying grounded, knowing that it's about moving forward and yet paying attention to where we're at, right? And all those balances. Okay, so that is yours, Veronica. Okay, so Tara, you wanted, so remember on Instagram or anybody else who's watching, scratch, the map, the Path of Soul, and unicorn. And Tara, you wanted unicorn. Okay, so Tara, it's your turn here on my platform here, and put out your intention. What would you like these wonderful cards to tell you? Is there a question you have? Is there that you would like an answer to? Is there a moment of just wanting to hear the greater picture of what the universe would like to show you, tell you? What is this that you would like to? Oh, there you go. I feel you're connecting now, Tara. Thank you. Sometimes it takes a second or two. For Tara. Okay. So the cards. Let me pull them out. Okay, so I have this one that called to me right here. Change. Yes, change. That can mean a change of money or a change of reality. Let's read. Oh, change that you're going through are positive. Changes that you're going through are positive. So change. So let me get to see. Each book, each group has a different thing here. Change. Okay. I love this card though because it's a unicorn standing at a doorway, getting ready, a path behind them and a path in front of them, right? Isn't that the reality of life? But change is always in front of us, never behind us. Sometimes we have to change history, but that actually helps us move forward in our life, doesn't it? So, Carolyn, would you like a card? Or anybody on Instagram would like the card? Okay, change. The changes that you're going through are positive. At times, we're afraid of making changes because we don't know what will happen in the future. This card wants you to know that changes you're going through are for the better. You're walking through the gate into a new life. Don't worry about your future because it's all going to work out just fine. These changes come in part because you're growing older. You like different things now. Comprehend to, oh, comprehended to when you were younger. Oh, compared to when you were younger. You like different things now compared to when you were younger. Sorry about that. It's okay for you to change because change is a part of life. In the same way, your friends and family members will change as you grow older. You're all letting go of things that no longer work well for you, and you're bringing in the new. Even though these changes may seem to make your family and friends act differently, in the end, everyone will be closer. You'll make new friends through these changes too. You know, Veronica, or I mean, Tara. Oh, there's more. Sorry. Okay. Yet, even happy life changes can create stress that affects your body, energy, and moods. So, it's more important than ever to take good care of yourself by getting enough sleep, exercise, and time for play. Also, talking about your feelings with friends and family members can help. This card may also be asking you to change something in your life that's making you unhappy or unhealthy. For example, changing a habit or a relationship. The first thing that you think about is correct. Ask your angels, the unicorns, and your friends and family members to help you with these changes if it feels difficult or frightening. Support is very important during times of change. If you can learn to enjoy life's changes, you enjoy life itself much more. Oh, isn't that a statement? If you learn to enjoy life changes, you enjoy life more because change is inevitable in life, right? So, Tara, I kind of felt that. Yes, I really want to quit my job, but terrified and no idea what to do next. Oh, you know what? Um, how randomly perfect timing for that message. Yes. Okay, so Tara, this is what I was getting that, you do dog training. And I'm on the radio regularly with a dog trainer and where I do animal communication. And she was saying that people are needing animal training because of the fact that during COVID, where there was a list of 100, now there's only a list of 8 or 10 people, right? So with that I can see that it's not time to change your job yet, but it's in that process of changing over, maybe advertising, doing dog training. You go to it naturally. And matter of fact, you have a puppy that you're trying to rehome, and she's calling to me, but I can't with my dog. So with that going through forward, I do see you doing some kind of negotiation that way. if that makes any sense. And I hope that helps. Not totally what you're supposed to do, but yet there's some way that it's going to work out that way. Okay. And honestly, on Instagram, if you would like a card, please let me know. Okay. So let's see. Carolyn, are you still there? Would you like a card? I hope that helped, the change card, because the fact that if we ask, I was talking to someone yesterday, and she wonderfully gave me the inspiration to I am inviting things in my life. I'm inviting the application of love and acceptance for the new to come into my life. I'm wanting clarity on what that is. I'm wanting a vision of where to go. Let these people who can help me come into my life to do this work. And that's the thing about life and love is that even me being intuitive, that sometimes I get a little stuck in my own self, right? Because I'm human and I got to work through some of my things. So when we're going through life and managing our life, a lot of times reaching out and getting a different perspective can help. And that's one thing that I was told is that I was told in a certain candle holder of inspiration to start lighting that daily. And I gotta remember when I'm done here to go do that. Light a candle for magic, for newness to come in my life, and do it for 7 days, right? It's up to me to start the process of changing that. Being aware of where we're going and what we're doing, that's what's helpful, okay? And knowing that we're all safe. So being aware of the gift of dealing with who we are, going through those emotional changes, being in life, and then we expect and ask for that love to help us out. So now I'm going to pull a card for the general good of everyone. Should it be the map? Should it be the path of the soul? Or should it be the unicorns? I'm hearing path of the soul. Path of the soul. This is a universal card for everybody. So everybody that was hearing those cards, that you can get something out of that change card or the unicorn card, and being aware of life that way. So this is a card for universal. So those on Instagram, since you haven't spoken up, and those on my YouTube and Facebook platform. So if you're just joining, I'm doing oracle cards right now, and this one is for the universal good. And so if you would like a card, Path of the Soul, Unicorn, or the Map series, which is a lot of cards that have wonderful little messages. So, okay, let me get the right attention here. There we go. It clicked in. Whoa. Okay. I think they decided what 2 cards. Oh, and I don't think I've had these yet. Oh, aren't these magical? I love these cards. These are so beautiful. These are so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so 31 and 42. So I'm going to read 31. I'm going to read 31 first because of the fact that it's first in the numbers and they both kind of came out at the same time. So I'm going to do that because 31 comes before. Joyous. Joyous. Oh, I'm hearing the other one. Okay. 42. Listening to that intuition is very important for me. Fairy. Fairies. Fairies. I love fairies. I love fairies. I love you, fairies. You are being asked to watch the situation that may get you fired up. You're being asked to watch the situation that may get you fired up. Remember, every experience you have is part of your learning. If you do find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, do your best to stay in the moment. Be mindful and do not allow yourself to slip back into old patterns. By staying true to who you are now, you will find the situation will resolve easily. The fairies are showing you the magic of staying present and heart centered. Isn't that neat? Heart centered. And fairies are basically light. They're basically light. Well, some of them. The fairies. Now, if you talk about all elementals, they're not all bright light, but most fairies are. Okay, now 31. Joyous. Joyous. The colors of pink and green simplify the opening of the heart chakra to deeper and more powerful joy, profound joy. Embrace this shift occurring within you. As you do, allow for that childlike wonder and amazement to fill every part of your being. You deserve to feel the bliss and the happiness. You have done the work. You have made the effort. Now it's time to simply enjoy all life has to offer. You know, there's truth in that. Because I know for me one day that I had a very joyous moment of information that came to me, and the whole day I sat in joy. I can tell you the synchronicity and the communion and the more grounded I felt that day. And so finding joy where we can is a blessing. Isn't that a beautiful card? That is just so beautiful. It almost looks like an iris, doesn't it? An iris bloom. They're so pretty. So pretty. Well, I hope today's conversation about emotions, and if you came in late, please rewatch. Please if you can go to my YouTube channel, please subscribe because I'm doing a post there on let's get triggered, not tiggered, or let's get tiggered, not triggered. And so I'm doing a personal conversation there, and I'm getting ready to teach a class on feng shui and another one about rewriting our contract. So I'm thinking about two different classes here that I'm going to be putting out there. I'm picking the dates as we speak. Not at this minute because I'm here, but I am going to be doing that. So I will start pronouncing them. It'll be sometime towards the end of June. So as we're going forward, please subscribe, please like. I will be here with Regan Forston on Memorial Day, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, or not on Instagram, but Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And on Wednesday, I will be here for Life Clarifications with Natasha. On Monday, we're going to honor the Memorial Day and what happens about where do we go being in wars and the situation and what happens to our soul. And we're going to talk a little bit about the whole gamut of Memorial Day with Regan Forston, who does hypnotherapy with the Newton Institute. So blessings to you in your journey, and may you know that no matter who you lose right now, that they're going home with the angels and love. Let love be with you. And remember, you can always go back to that moment in my video where I was sending love to all, because the fact that we're all going through something right now, and it's amazing. It's amazing how much love can help us get through that next moment. Love to you, Tara and Veronica and Carolyn, and to all that are watching on Instagram. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being here today, and blessings to all. Love you. Oh, hi, Stacy. How are you? Thank you for coming. I know that you just popped in, Stacy. I can pull you a card real quick. I feel like there's a card for you. I'm going to stay for just a minute. Sorry, I was getting ready to sign off. But Stacy, would you like a Path of the Soul, a map card, which is kind of like these, and or the unicorn deck? What would you like, Stacy? Because I know you just came on. And thank you for coming. Stacy and I do Martha Norwalk's radio Animal World the third Sunday of every month. Sure. So which one would you like? The Path of the Soul, which is basically like I just read, which are cards like this. The Path of Soul. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do, Stacy, is I'm going to ask you to put an intention out there. Oh, I feel it strong already. You've been going through a lot with Hawaii situation, and my love is with you. My love is with you. So, Path of the Soul, and for Stacy. Stacy, what would you like, Stacy? What is your question? Yeah, this one popped out. So, Stacy, this one popped out for you. Let me get it over to where. Isn't that pretty? I love these cards. Okay, so that is 29. 29. Friendship. 29 is friendship. There is a great amount of love and support available to you. Friendship represented by an infinity symbol is forever. Trust the bonds you have created with others. Know that the greatest gift you can give is your friendship. It is in giving that you receive the most. Offer your support where you can, and remember to ask for support when you need it. Your friends are the very souls you have chosen to journey with you in this lifetime. They are the important part of your growth and learning. So, Stacy, I really feel like that it's okay to reach out even to me if you need some support in making a quick decision. I know you're going through a lot right now, and it's okay not to stand alone. You've had to stand alone much of your life, and it's okay if you can lean. You can lean. But remember about it, it's that, say yes when it feels right, all the way down to your toes, and say no if it's feeling off. It's okay to say no. And it's okay to say yes to receiving, especially if it works out good for those around you. So, Stacey, I hope this helps out for you. And thank you very much for popping on. And I will see everyone on Monday with the Dance of the Soul with Regan Forston. Blessings to you. Bye now.